Hey y'all, I wanted to come on here and I wanted to have a conversation. I know like some of us are probably struggling with this right now, and this is a conversation I was having it with one of my homegirls on another platform, and it's basically about when it's time for us to leave a situation, we have to go, right? We can't worry about if this person is sorry about what they did. Will they care about me? Will they miss me? How are they doing, right? We have to go. And the question was, do you think that he'll care about the way that he hurt me? And that's something that we all think about, right? When it's time for us to go and we've been hurt by somebody, we want to know. That's just normal, right? We want to know, will they care? But this is the thing. When you don't focus on yourself and your healing and you stay wrapped up on them, you will never do what's best for you. So if you're moving on, then you have to move on. Now, like I put up with the post the other day, it's normal for us to want to go back. The mind wants what it knows, right? Although it's not really a safe space, the mind believes it to be a safe space because that's what it knows. And it's a comfortable space, right? Now you got to start over. Now you got to go out there on your own. You're probably thinking things like, will I find somebody else? And you're telling yourself very irrational things like, we were meant to be. Anybody that we're meant to be with, we will end up with, right? We won't have to endure pain, suffering, cheating, trauma just because it's meant for us to be together, because we will come back together when it's time, right? But that's not something that we tie ourselves to the end, right? To the end result, because we don't know what it is. So when it's time for you to move on, you have to go. You have to cut communication. You have to. I know that it's not easy to cut communication, and it's going to be hard, and you might go back and forth for having a little communication with them, but you have to be honest with yourself then. And you have to be honest with yourself about the fact that I'm not really moving on. If we are still talking to somebody that has harmed us, somebody that has harmed us is dangerous. They are dangerous to us, right? Somebody that has harmed us, they hurt us, they are hurting within, because we give people what it is that we have to give. That is somebody that can hurt you again. Unless you are willing to sit through this person going through, they need healing, right? They need healing. And you need healing, right? That's the only reason why you are there, so you can learn that you need to learn to love yourself so you can go and you can heal. But unless you are trying to sit next to this person while they talk to God, Jesus, go within, go get on therapy, talk to Ayana, do all that type of stuff, unless you're willing to sit there and be patient and still not know what the end is going to be, because they are the ones that have to do the work, then it's time to go. So if you're still having communication with the person, then you have not moved on, right? So don't trick yourself into thinking that you're moving on when you're still talking to a person. You don't need to talk to a person when it's time to go on. You don't need to worry about whether or not they're going to believe that they hurt you. More than likely, when a person is being hurtful and they're not taking accountability for themselves and you have to leave, they probably won't see it as them hurting you, although they know deep down inside, but they'll constantly make themselves believe that they didn't do anything wrong, the same way you are making yourself believe that you are moving on, although you're not, because you're still having communication with this person, right? If I told you that I was moving on from my car, right, and I say, girl, I'm done with my car, I'm moving on, I don't want that car anymore, but I'm sitting up here making videos from my car, would you believe that I moved on from my car? So you don't need to talk to anybody. You don't need to check and make sure they're okay. That person did not make sure you were okay. And you need to consistently remind yourself that you're not doing anything negative. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything hurtful, because your mind is going to try to make you believe all of those things so that you can have a reason to talk to them. Because if you are still talking to somebody that hurt you, then you still want something to do with them. And you're probably hoping that you all get back together and they work on their stuff. I know, because I've been there. You're hoping that they get it together and they work on that stuff, and by you talking to them, that is keeping you connected to that end result that you don't even know if that's true. You don't know. Unless you're a psychic and you sitting there with your crystal ball and you like, okay, I can see he's in therapy. Okay, I can see he's talking to Ayana. Oh, he just got off the main line with Jesus. Now he's sitting in his room. He's not out and about distracting himself, and he's going within to see what's going on. If you can't see that, then what are you waiting around for? You don't even know. You are waiting around because you are still connected to that person and you really do hope that you all get back together. But as long as you wait around and try to be there for them and make yourself believe that you're being there for them and I gotta talk to them, you don't have to talk to anybody. Nobody. And you definitely don't have to talk to somebody that hurt you, because somebody that hurt you once or multiple times will do it again until they do the work. Just like if we allow people to harm us, we will most definitely allow somebody to harm us again and stay in that situation until we do the work. That is why I say, when you leave a situation, I don't care what it is. It can be a relationship with a man, it can be a friendship, it can be a job. All relationships, y'all, show up as mirrors for us, and all relationships really align, right? They are relationships. That's why you could have stayed around with a friend that could have been toxic as I don't know what for years and years, the same way you stayed with a man that was toxic as I don't know what for years and years, the same way you'll stay with a job that's toxic as I don't know what for years and years. All those relationships look, it was all toxicity and you still stayed. The only thing that's different when we're in a romantic relationship is that we're having sex. That's it. And we're spending more time with that person. And that's what makes it so hard for us to move on, because we really base our identity off of this person, especially when we don't feel like we're whole on our own and we need to go without and get somebody else to make us feel whole. So now when that doesn't work out, we feel like we're dying inside and we don't know what we're going to do because the situation is over. So we stay clinging to it with the hopes that it works out because I need this situation to fulfill me. And that's not true. What you need to do is be honest with yourself. If you're still talking to this person, you're not moving on if you're still talking to somebody. You don't need to talk to anybody. You don't have to talk to this person. What you need to do is work on yourself and heal yourself, because this person will most definitely, and this is why I don't do the back and forth with women versus men. When people do that, they are in they are not enlightened enough to understand that this is not about women versus men, y'all. This is human behavior, right? The same way, if you leave a door open for me to come back in and I know that I can have my way with you, I'm coming in the door. So if you constantly talking to me, or if you talk to me once a week, I know that I can get that conversation from 1 time to 2 times. Why do I know that? I don't have to be a man to do that. I know that because I know that you're not weak enough to cut me off, although I hurt you, right? If you really cared about yourself, if you really loved yourself, if you felt like you could be without me, then you would just cut me off and you would go do what you need to do for you. But since you won't, I know that you are going to stay on this line with me, constantly telling yourself that you need to talk to me for a reason. And I'm going to get the conversation to go from 1 time to 2 times. So can you bring me this? Can you come? Oh, let's just go get something to eat together. Next thing you know, I'm back in there, because that is why if you are moving on, you have to cut the cord. So don't lie to yourself and say I'm moving on from somebody that you're still having a conversation with. I don't care what it is. It can be a friend. If you have a friend that's toxic as I don't know what, or a family member, you don't have to answer the phone for them. You do not have to have a conversation with them. You do not need to talk to them. What you need to do is what's best for you. In all things that we do, we need to do what's best for us, right? So in everything you do what's best for you, and know that it doesn't matter if he will remember that I was good, or if he's going to think that he did something wrong, or if you're not sticking around to see if he, feels bad. No, baby, you working on yourself, because you're going to heal and you're going to evolve. And the man that you think you can't live without, and the friend that you think you can't live without, and the job that you think you can't live without, once you heal, you're going to evolve and you're going to get better. You're going to get better, and you're going to be looking back like you did with every other situation, because we get in these situations and then we try to tell ourselves that, I'm not going to be able to live without this job. I need to check the other jobs out here. There's no shortage on places that you can go fill out, especially now, girl. Go work at home, whole bunch of remote jobs hiring. I'm not going to find another friend. There are other women out here that you can be friends with. I'm not going to find another man. There are men out here, baby. And as soon as you heal, you won't be aligning with somebody who's in pain that's going to hurt you. But we will make ourselves believe that I'm not going to be able to find anything else. That's a lie. So just remember to be honest with yourself. You're not moving on if you're still communicating with somebody that you need to move on from. And anybody that hurts us or harms us is dangerous. And they are dangerous because they are harming themselves. They are hurting themselves. And we don't know when the next time they will hurt us, right? That's dangerous. And that's also a mirror for you to show you that how much do I really love and care about myself if I keep putting myself in harm's way? All because I want to stay. And you're not doing it because you want to stay. You're doing it because it's something deeper within that you feel like you're lacking without this person. And that's a lie. You're lacking without them because you're lacking, period. It's not that you're just lacking without them. You're lacking, period. But once you do the work, you won't feel like you're lacking when anybody wants to leave. And you'll know that just like that person goes, somebody else will be ushered in when I'm ready.